start with the opening prayer. The energy of love is within us and is us. Whole and complete is the I am that we are. We awaken to the truth of our being. We will this be done within and without. May we come to recognize that we receive all that we give. We know that we have forgiven ourselves when we forgive others of all grievances held within our hearts. May we not be led into temptation by the voice of separation, but instead may we transcend all illusions. For ours is the power, love, and peace of Christ consciousness found within each of us, who is but the perfect extension of the one mind and heart that is shared by all, and is our birthright as the holy extensions of love itself. Our affirmation of faith. We believe in one God, the author and energy of all life, whose love sustains the universe and all things found within it. Our 5 Christ principles. 1. There is only one energy in the universe. That energy is love, at all times active in everyone, everywhere. 2. We are the divine energy of love, and that energy is found throughout the universe and in all things, whether seen and unseen. 3. We create our experiences by what we choose to think, feel, and believe, thereby establishing our responsibility for our own choices. 4. Through opening our heart center, we connect with the energy of love and bring out the Christ within us. 5. We express our desire to be of service when we live and demonstrate Christ's consciousness in all our affairs.
Thank you, Carla. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Church of Christ Consciousness. I'd like to welcome everyone who is here, everyone who is watching, and everyone who will watch later this week. Today, I'm going to speak on chasing demons. And I pulled this from a conversation that I had with someone earlier this week. And then someone who helped me title it. And I loved the title, Chasing Demons. And I'm going to ask Carla to read something from the Bible before we get started. Carla?
It's found in Matthew 12:43 through 45. When an impure spirit comes out of a person, it goes through arid places seeking rest and does not find it. Then it says, I will return to the house I left. When it arrives, it finds the house unoccupied, swept clean, and put in order. Then it goes and takes with it 7 other spirits more wicked than itself, and they go in and live there. And the final condition of that person is worse than the first.
Thank you. All right. So it looks like if you listen to the Bible verse, it sounds like a demon is some evil entity, some spirit just waiting to come in and grab you. Well, that's what most people think. That's what most fundamental Christians believe, that there are evil entities roaming that can come in and take over. Well, it said in the verse, impure spirit. Impure spirit. Well, by the way, impure literally means not pure. But what does pure mean? Pure means, and you can look this up for yourself, to be without judgment. So pure, if pure is to be without judgment, impure means you're right in the middle of judging something. But it gets even better. Because spirit, most people attach entity to it, or some type of label as if it's a being. But you can also look this up in the dictionary. Spirit means a state of mind. So an impure spirit is a state of having a judgmental mind. The word house, as it's used, will find the house empty and swept clean. The word house, when you follow it, it means mind. It literally means mind. Well, what is Jesus? What was he trying to tell us? He wasn't telling us to be on watch for spirits that will come in and take over. But he was saying, be careful of making a judgment. Because a house that is cleaned, unoccupied, literally means that you have a mind. You've done your forgiveness work. You've forgiven. You've done everything. You know, the house is clean. Your mind is in order. But you didn't stay to watch. To watch for what, though? To watch for the judgments. Once you allow one judgment in, as I was sharing with someone earlier this week, if you allow one judgment in and you don't recognize it, that's the problem. Because now the judgment takes hold. And 7 more follow. And the very end of the verse says, and the person will be in worse condition. Well, there's 2 parts to that. First of all, once you have allowed one judgment to take hold within your mind, now your mind is off and running. And what would be the other 7 spirits, the 7 things that would follow? Well, when I was sitting talking to this person this past week, this person was able to write down a list, the 7, just boom, 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 and was like this. I see this. I see how once I judged something and didn't address it, it just, it was like a snowball rolling downhill. It just got bigger. Well, what happens when we make a judgment? The judgment doesn't have to just be about someone else or something that's going on in your life. We're quicker to judge ourselves than anything else. And we judge ourselves as worthless, not good enough, or I've done something wrong. Well, why isn't life really working out? Because I must have done something wrong. Well, you judge yourself. And if you don't catch that judgment, that the spirit of that judgment, that negative thought, enters into your mind, didn't find you home, nobody was watching it, nobody was paying attention to your mind, you weren't even watchful for your own thoughts. What finds the mind empty? Nobody's watching. And it's come on, let's play. The next thing you know, you've got the spirits of anger and everything that follows. Hatred. From Star Wars, Master Yoda. My favorite thing that Master Yoda says. Fear is the path to the dark side. For fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hatred, and hatred leads to suffering. Which now brings me to the second part of the end of the Bible verse. Why are you in a worse condition than you were the first time? Because every time you have a judgment, let's say for instance you're judging yourself unworthy, whether it's on a conscious or subconscious level, if you are not vigilant for the thoughts that you're entertaining, you will not only experience that, But every time you do, it strengthens the thought, strengthens the belief that you're unworthy. That's why you're in a worse condition every time. And it becomes a habit. And now you're stuck in the habit. And habits, as we all know, are hard to break. That verse, I know so many people who think that it infers spirit possession from evil spirits, demons. Well, just for the kick of it, while I was getting ready for this talk this week, I Googled that verse and what has been written by it, especially paying attention to what theologians have written. I was amazed. I was actually blown away because it was all about, well, if you've turned your life over to Jesus, then everything's cool. Yes, it is. But you are the keeper of your mind. You are the keeper of your mind. You are the keeper of the thoughts that you choose to entertain. No one else is. You are responsible for the thoughts you entertain. Just because you have turned your life over to Jesus does not mean that you can leave your mind without a guardian. You must be vigilant for the thoughts that come and go, and for the thoughts that you entertain. That's what he was trying to say. You are responsible. So the deeper meaning of those verses in Matthew specifically deal with your responsibility for watching what comes and goes and what you allow to be entertained within your own mind. Does it serve a purpose? Most people think that judgment serves a purpose. Most of the time it makes them feel better. If you're judging someone else, it's because you think you're right, they're wrong, and somehow or another you're going to feel better. Well, it doesn't work that way. How many times did he have to tell us, he being Jesus, have to tell us that when you judge, you're judging yourself. Even if you think that you're judging someone else, you are judging yourself. There is the impure spirit. And once it takes hold, 7 more follow if you're not paying attention. Master Yoda told us that. He told us exactly how we end up suffering. So we must pay attention to the thoughts that are coming into our mind. If you feel a judgment rising, bless it and send it on its way. Stand at the door of your mind and say, "You're not welcome. Bless you, but not here. There's no room here for you to take up residence." Because if it takes up residence, that's what creates the conflict and suffering. That's when we're in trouble. But most of us don't recognize what the demon really is. That it is a negative thought, a judgment, and that it's hurting us. And that we, by our own right, through free will and responsibility, allowed it to come in. And then we look around when we find and realize, oh, my life's not working. What's going on? We don't think to look within us to see what we have done to our own self. So I'm going to end today, and I would make a suggestion. Get a no vacancy sign. Get a no vacancy sign. Neon. See it in your mind. Flip that sign on. No vacancy. When it comes, there's no room. Shoo it on. Bless it and let it go. There's no room. There's no room for it to take up residence in your mind. Because whatever you think, you're going to ultimately experience. So if you allow the negativity in and you think it and you allow yourself to ruminate on it, well, there's no one else to blame when all of a sudden you're miserable and in conflict internally, emotionally. You did it to yourself. It was like you stood outside and went, "Come on, let's play." Well, that's really what we're doing. Turn the no vacancy sign on. And then become watchful to every thought. For every thought is creative. So ask yourself, am I willing to create this in my life? Am I willing to live and experience the results of entertaining this thought, of giving it a room in my mind? If the answer is yes, go for it. If the answer is no, bless it and let it leave. That's how you become at peace. That's how you live conflict-free, which is peace. But you must be vigilant for the thoughts. I was told one time not to give room in my mind free of charge. Well, how many of us give our negative thoughts space in our own mind, free of charge? And then we wonder why we're the ones paying the consequences. Well, because we weren't vigilant and we didn't recognize that we are the ones doing it to ourselves. So, take this day, take this week, get you a no vacancy sign, plug it in and turn it on, and stand at the door. Welcome the good thoughts. Bless the negative ones. Let them keep going. Allow the good ones in. Keep the negative ones walking on past. And you will recognize before the end of the week how wonderful, how simple, and how peaceful life can be. You're responsible. It's your choice. And now, Ms. Penny will lead us in meditation.
As we begin to relax, another thing I would invite you to do with this lovely little thoughts that visit your mind is notice where they come from. Are they a thought that you carry from your family? Are they a thought that is created by society? You can say it was my thought that I judged myself, but where did you get the opposite to judge yourself? And begin to make it an even greater forgiveness. Right now, in this moment, breathe in. In this moment, breathe out. I am whole. Breathe in this moment. Breathe out. I am complete. Sit back and relax. Direct your attention to the body. Feel it as your muscles relax, as your blood flows. Be aware as the breath flows through your nostrils, down your throat, and inflates your lungs and releases. Be aware of how easily your body functions without your attention. Feel the sense of presence now, and know there is only here now. Feel the effortlessness of this very moment. As thoughts arise, accept them only as a sensation. As thoughts arise, know that they are not you. If emotion arises, know that it is not you. If attachment of any kind arises, let it go. It is not you. Sit in this space where there is no expectation, no sense of time. Open your heart to the flow of silence. And as you bring your awareness to here, now, and move forward with your day, remember the feeling of the flow of the stillness of your heart. And I'd like for you to join me in our offertory prayer. Divine presence through me blesses all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We give and receive in love. And if you'd like to know more about us, check us out on our website, churchofchristconsciousness.org.